Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Leo, Sun, Moon or Rising, and it's the weekly reading for the week of November 18th to the 24th. This week, Leo, we have the Boundaries Oracle card. We have the Knight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, very interesting energy going on at the moment, Leo. We're about to close out that decade. Stakes are getting higher. Things are coming to completion. Those things that we've been putting off are being faced. These scales need to balance before we move into that next cycle, and we really, we need to take all of this on and do the shadow work so that we can get to those goods, those 9 and 10 of Cups realities. So I'm just going to start off by reading out your Oracle card, Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries, Leo? You're being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, family, or work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment, which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, or taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most loving, giving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. For when they say yes, they will be able to give unconditionally. Yeah. So that's a really important message there, Leo. It's about, it's really that Six of Pentacles energy. It's about being able to give and receive and sitting in that flow and sitting on that balance point rather than being either, all give or all receive. That's the reminder there that I'm feeling. So, okay, what have we got going on here? I've got recent past. Yeah, actually, I'm going to start there. I really think that's fitting. Yep, so we have the Nine of Swords and we have the Six of Pentacles. So I think that some of you have been dealing with a situation that has been, out of balance for sure. And it's that being out of balance that has caused that Nine of Swords kind of confusion, anxiety, depression, worry, despair even, fatigue, all of that stuff with the Nine of Swords. I feel like, we are dealing with a situation where it could be an issue of boundaries, where maybe there's something that you need to complete. We've almost got a Ten of Swords here, but, without, being able to find that sense of clarity in yourself, it's just been lingering on and these scales have just been, tipping like a seesaw and, really never coming into alignment, never really coming into balance. Maybe you've been, flicking between being this person here and these beggars. Sometimes you feel great and on top of the world and other times you feel like a bit of a beggar of life. For some of you, it could link to the financial realm where money's either been, it's either been there in a certain amount of abundance or there hasn't been any. It could be, we could be talking about a relationship sense where you are with a partner that maybe is all take, or you've had to, be the person always giving. Either way, those universal scales have not been in alignment for you in the past, Leo, and I think it's caused you great worry. And I think that what we really need to do is tip that Nine of Swords over to a Ten of Swords. Yes, it's going to be a painful completion, but, we really need to do that because there's much better things behind the situation that are ready to come in for you, but we need to create that energetic space for them. And how do we create that energetic space? Well, we take action. We take action. Because in your focus energies this week, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, okay. Look, I feel, a lot of people say, yeah, that Ten of Pentacles, it's the highest level of abundance, it's great, it's joy, all of that. But in this particular reading and with this card that it came out with, Leo, for me, this is a completion on the home front. So this could be the ending of a relationship, could be somebody having to move out, move homes. It could be, it's just some kind of tying up those ends, end of a chapter. Could even be, children leaving the home, going off to university or whatever. It is a completion. Somebody's leaving, something is finished here. If we have that with the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords talks about, moving on regrettably, just understanding that the time is right to set sail. And we have to do that if we really want to get to the calmer waters, the the more peaceful time of our life, because I think this chapter, it has been a bit of emotional turmoil for you, Leo. It's probably been tumultuous, and I think it's just time to say, hey, you know what? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? It doesn't have to be completely all over, but for now, this is the right thing to do for you, and you need to set that boundary, and you need to make a clear decision. And if it's right for you to move on, you've got to get in your boat, Leo, and you've got to set sail. Yeah, there's going to be despair, there's going to be a bit of sadness, there's going to be grief. You're leaving something that potentially was a happy home, a happy situation, abundant even. But when the time is right to move on, we have to do that. And if possible, with that Six of Swords, it's about keeping the baggage, all the thoughts, the anxieties, keeping them on the shoreline and carrying on with an empty vessel. Now we've got two number sixes in this reading, and 6 is the number of harmony and growth. So by doing this, making this journey, this necessary rite of passage, you're going to achieve greater harmony. You're moving into a more harmonious chapter, and there will be great growth through doing that. For some of you, you might actually need to physically relocate, whether that's just relocating houses or towns or cities, even countries for some of you. With the Knight of Swords here, a couple of things that can indicate that there might have been some harsh communications in the past that led to this point. But what I'm really feeling, Leo, with this card here is that once you get in the boat, once you actually start rowing, once you start this transition, the progress is going to be swift for you. You're really going to start charging forth into a new chapter quickly, and it's well overdue, which is why I think we have that Knight of Swords, which is an indicator of speed, of fast movement, of fast progress. There's no stopping you. There'll be no holding you back. So I actually, even though there's a bit of sadness associated with that, Leo, I really love that energy for you. Near future, because look at this. This is where you're heading in that boat. This is where that boat is sailing to. Knight of Cups and Nine of Cups. Wow. I mean, guys, Nine of Cups is about somebody who is achieving, someone who is successful, someone who is content in their lives. I mean, tell me, were you content with this? Even if there were good things about it, sometimes the scales might have got close to balance, but when then they would swing again. Is that enough for you? Is that good enough for you? No. This is what's good enough. This is wish fulfillment. This is feeling deeply satisfied with life. Deeply satisfied, taking that moment to admire your successes through moving on. This is what we can get to. What I love about this, guys, is that this is a Nine of Cups reality, right? And if 10 of Cups is the ultimate of joy, emotional abundance, harmony, love, satisfaction, well, somebody's coming in with that final cup to complete your picture, Leo. That could be a romantic offer, somebody who literally is a knight in shining armor, who's charismatic, magnetic. It can even be an apology. Maybe in the future there is a way to rectify this situation. Can be new love, new partnership, a new offer. If it's a work reading for you, think, guys, this could be the last piece of the puzzle for you. A role or a project that's really going to fulfill you on an emotional level. But either way, what I know is that 9 plus 1 is 10. 9 plus 1 is a 10 of Cups reality, and that is what is on offer. That's what's coming in for you, Leo. So it's really, really beautiful. Keep in mind that with these kind of realities, we still need to keep putting in the work to keep those scales balanced. It starts with having boundaries, being clear, being decisive, and keeping on releasing from the past so we create more space to collect more cups, to add in these energies. And then before you know it, we're sitting pretty on a 10 of Cups reality. Leo, that's what I have for you. Yeah, look, there's some difficult times to be had. I mean, we are closing out a decade. This is a classic reading for pretty much everybody at the moment. Transmuting, transforming, releasing denser energies to get to the good stuff. Because I think 2020, after a couple of years of quite intense planetary and ascension action, is going to be quite transformative for a lot of people, and a little bit lighter and brighter as well. So Leo, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I wish you a really great week. Feel free to leave me a comment if you'd like to share. I'd love to see how it's unfolding in your daily life. Keep in mind it is a general reading. It won't be for every one of you guys, and I'll see you back here next week for another reading.